Aloha Taurus, welcome to White Shadow Spiritual Advising. My name is BriaBogatin, and today we'll be doing your monthly June tarot forecast. So you can check out your sun, moon, rising sign, or really any placement within your birth chart in regards to these videos. Down below, you can find the information to my TikTok, email, and Instagram. And then also down below, if you would like to support my work, you can do so. There's my PayPal, Venmo, whatever down below. Okay, Taurus, so overall, this is going to be a month of major leaps forward on, I would say, the levels of your action and drive in life, opportunity when it comes to your passions, and then also emotional dynamics and emotional attachments, even spiritual dynamics that you need to step away from. The eclipse season that we just stepped into at the beginning of May, end of April, it was in Taurus. It was on the Taurus Scorpio node. So you guys obviously were hit in a major way. And so what's interesting is that you're receiving the 8 of Cups, and there's an eclipse happening back here. So I would say for a lot of you, the eclipse definitely was highlighting emotional, spiritual, even sexual, creative, intimate dynamics that needed to be shed, whether you have fully stepped away from someone or that relationship went through a complete transformation. And I would say the month of June is going to be receiving rewards from that. Okay, a job well done. So let's start with the first card, because the 8 of Cups was the last card. The first card you are receiving is the King of Swords. Okay, so the King of Swords can represent an archetype, a characteristic that you are stepping into, that you're being called to step into, or it can represent someone you're dealing with. So if it's someone you're dealing with, this person is usually, can be an air sign with the King of Swords. It can be a male figure, or it can be a female figure that is very strong in her character, in her voice, in her communication, might even be a little bit rude, extremely opinionated. This can be someone that is cold and distant when it comes to their emotions. Now, if this is an archetype, and can be both, if this is an archetype that you're being called to step into, you're being asked to set stronger boundaries, voice your truth and your opinion, make yourself be heard. And this card could also be saying that you need to detach on some sort of emotional level. And I would say that that's definitely the case with receiving the 8 of Cups as well. The 8 of Cups is leaving and moving on the spiritual, emotional capacities. So the King of Swords, this is going to be about mastering communication. This is going to be about being a leader, using your voice to lead specifically, using what you feel within and voicing that in such a powerful way that it might prove to be inspirational, or it might check someone in the way that they need to be checked. Okay, so then you are receiving the 6 of Wands. This is a card of victory. So going from the King of Swords to the 6 of Wands, I would say that if this is someone you're dealing with, you have finally overcome this circumstance. You will find some sort of closure, getting to the top of that mountain within the month of June. And with the 6 of Wands, it represents a victory, but it does represent a victory that was very difficult to attain. So the imagery here represents people leaving a war, a battle that they just won. So this is like the army being depicted here, and they're leaving that battle, they're leaving victorious. However, it was still a battle. So that means there was suffering, lives were lost, people had to do some, things that were very difficult, make difficult decisions. So it is a victory. However, again, it's a victory that was maybe a little bit traumatizing to attain. But this is showing that you are overcoming challenges on a major level. You're, again, getting to the top of that mountain, especially in the area of this King of Swords character. And what the King of Swords represents, again, communication, intellect, the mindset. You might be overcoming a major mental health concern during this time. But there's definitely a lot of closure towards the swords, which is the air element. So again, think of what the air element represents: intellect, communication, things of that nature. Okay, so then the last card you are receiving is the 8 of Cups. Now, the 8 of Cups is leaving and moving on the spiritual, emotional levels, like I was saying. And the thing about the 8 of Cups, and what I feel the need to say right now, these cups are not spill over, okay? They're beautifully in line, they're stacked. That is showing that just because you have to step away from something, that doesn't necessarily mean that that person, place, thing, or circumstance or whatever was bad for you, or it may be toxic or doing something bad to you. It can simply mean that you have outgrown that dynamic. That journey is not meant for you anymore. And I want you guys to keep that in mind for the month of June. Now, everything that you step away from are going to be things that were toxic or really bad for you. It's also going to be things that simply you just don't need anymore. It might not be emotionally, spiritually fulfilling or satisfying anymore. You have grown and elevated out of that. And I want you to keep that in mind. Now, with the eclipse in the background, of course, that's going to represent the eclipse season we're presently in, but also this is going to represent illumination. And I want to say healing information coming in within the month of June that is going to propel you forward. Both of these cards show movement forward and leaving something behind. Leaving behind unneeded energy, circumstances, stagnancy, negativity. Of course, negativity you will be leaving behind. But know that the month of June, you're going to be receiving a lot of clarity, a lot of closure, and a lot of healing, illumination, healing information coming in that will be of a great assistance to you to propel you forward, to take on this new journey, and also help you to select that journey in general. Okay, so I'm going to leave that at that for you, Taurus. I hope you all have a beautiful June.